Imagine that you're walking across the street in a designated crosswalk on your way to work. Suddenly, you're hit by a car. When you open your eyes, you see your body pinned underneath a van, with an officer standing above you asking you what happened. All you can say is that you want your mom, and then you drift off for eternity. According to a story shared by her family on the U.S. government's website for distracted driving, this is what happened to Kacia Feldman of New Jersey in July of 2009. She was 21 years old when she was hit and killed. What does Kacia, who is shown here, have in common with the others? They were all killed because of distracted driving. How many times have you crossed the street in your neighborhood or on campus just assuming that cars would stop for you? How often do you do distracting things while you're driving? For most of us, the answer to these questions would be quite often. None of us, however, would want to be dead like Kacia and the others. As a pedestrian and driver myself, I have been very interested in researching and learning about the dangers of distracted driving. Today, I will inform you on one of the biggest problems and forms of distracted driving, texting. First, we'll talk about North Dakota's laws on texting and driving. Next, we will learn about the dangers and risks associated with texting and driving. And finally, we will learn how to prevent ourselves and others from texting and driving. According to Alan Goldfarb's website, distracteddrivinghelp.com, copyright 2012, in North Dakota it's illegal to text and drive. This ban is a primary law that became effective August 1st of 2011, when North Dakota was the 31st state to ban texting and driving. In a personal interview conducted October 23rd, 2012, Sheriff Deputy Mike Argel stated that a primary law means that law enforcement can pull you over just for that reason. In order to pull a person over for texting and driving, an officer must observe a person manipulating their phone for a period of time. The fine for texting and driving is $100. Now that you know about North Dakota's laws associated with texting and driving, we can learn about the dangers of texting and driving. Many people would agree that driving while intoxicating is dangerous. Yet many people admit to sending text messages or reading them while they're driving. Texting while driving is just as dangerous as driving with a .08 blood alcohol level, which would be a DUI in North Dakota. According to Edgar Snyder's website, copyright 2012, a person is 23 times more likely to be involved in a crash if they are texting while driving. Why is it so dangerous? Texting and driving forces your brain to multitask. Most people feel like they can multitask very well. However, when multitasking, your brain can only perform one of your tasks the best. When texting and driving, your primary focus is on the text. Since your brain is focusing on the text, signals you're receiving from the road and your surroundings are being blocked from your brain. To demonstrate the effects of multitasking, I'll have this audience member sort a deck of cards while I time her. As you can see, that was relatively easy for her, and it took her 20.1 seconds. Now I will have her do the same thing while I ask her questions. What's your name?
Kacia.
How many people are in your family?
5.
How many siblings do you have?
3.
What are their names?
Kacia and Caitlin. Lisa and Mike.
How many pets do you have?
3.
What are their names?
Molly, Sophie, and Gracie.
in that same 20.1 seconds, she could only do about half of the amount of cards that she did in the first 20.1 seconds. As you can see, multitasking makes your brain work a lot harder. Besides attention, texting and driving takes your hands off the wheel and your eyes off the road. 90% of driving is your eyes. Your eyes watch the road, watch for traffic signals, read traffic signs, and much more while you're driving. Your eyes then send the signals to your brain, and your brain responds. Most people would agree that blind people shouldn't be able to drive. According to textinganddravingsafety.com, copyright 2012, texting and driving is equivalent to driving blind for 5 seconds. This is like traveling the length of a football field at 55 miles per hour without looking up. Now that we understand the dangers about texting and driving, we can learn about what can be done to prevent texting and driving. The best way not to text and drive is to have your phone off. When you're getting in the car, turn your phone off and put it away. If you turn your phone off when you turn the ignition on, you will not be distracted by hearing your phone go off or seeing a text message pop up. You can also practice these safe driving habits by making your friends, family, or whoever else you're driving with do the same thing. You can then be a safe passenger and a safe driver. If you do have to use the phone while you're in the car, do it safely. It's illegal to use your phone or text on your phone anywhere on a moving roadway. Therefore, even if you're at a stoplight or a stop sign, it's still illegal to text. To be safe, you should park on a curb or in a parking lot before turning your phone on or looking at it. Now you know how to help yourself and others not text and drive. Texting and driving is one of the biggest problems and most dangerous forms of distracted driving. Today, you learned about North Dakota's laws, the dangers, and prevention of texting and driving. Texting and driving causes 1.6 million accidents per year, 330,000 injuries per year, and 11 teen deaths per day. It's up to you to stop the cycle. Nobody wants to end up like Kacia or any of the others you saw at the beginning of the presentation. I challenge you to become a better driver and help stop distracted driving before it's too late.